Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are joined by Pair of Jeans Reviews. Take it away.
Hey, I'm Alex from Pair of Jeans Reviews, and I just want to thank Questy real quick for letting me be in this video. Top 10 death metal songs of all time is a pretty daunting task. Top 10 songs of any genre of all time is a daunting task because there's so many songs by so many bands in so many genres, so there's some kind of generic picks on here, like normie picks in terms of death metal, but I mean, you can't deny a good song being a good song. So yeah, top 10 death metal songs. Thank you, Questy. Let's do this.
So we are doing our top 10 death metal songs of all time. We've both got our top 10 lists. So I guess, let's get it stuck in with Pair of Jeans' number 10.
So my number 10 spot for the top 10 best death metal songs of all time goes to Human's Dust by Decapitated. This is off of their debut album, Winds of Creation. And it's just a fucking killer song. It has the technicality, it has the grooviness, it's heavy as hell. It just shows off everything that Decapitated is amazing at. That opening riff in specific is just such an infectious riff that the first time I ever heard the song, just that like as a guitar player, I'm just like, that's absolutely insane. And then you learn that they were like 15 years old when they were recording this record. Then you have that drum break. It's just an absolutely crazy song that's kind of has all these different crazy movements while still being catchy and awesome. Just, I did a Decapitated ranking, and this is my second favorite Decapitated record, but I do say, like, Human's Dust is just everything I love about Decapitated in one song, and a lot of the things that I just really love about death metal all wrapped up into one song. So number 10 for me is Human's Dust.
Lovely choice there, boy. Lovely choice. My number 10, we're going with a classic, which is probably going to be blasphemy putting it this low. It's Chapel of Ghouls by Morbid Angel. Chapel of Ghouls, one of the best death metal songs of all time. The way he sings about the zombies just breaking out, attacking the church. How fun is that? I love the lyrics in this song. I love the energy. The imagination runs wild in this song, and that's why I love it, and that's why it's on this top 10 list. Because of the lyrics, how fun it is, and it's pretty goddamn heavy. And it's from one of the best death metal albums of all time. So, Chapel of Ghouls is goddamn awesome. Go listen to it now.
For my number 9 pick, I am picking As Hammer to Anvil off of Exhumed's All Guts No Glory record. This was a big album for me getting into death metal and more extreme music, and specifically this song. It just, almost like Human's Dust, but in a very different way, it just shows off how catchy death metal could be. It just has that hook, just such a cool, simple riff, but it's so nasty and nauseating at the vocals that are just really in your face and almost like early death kind of vocal delivery, in the way that the vocalist just kind of barks out these lyrics very quickly and everything, but then you have the hooks and the accents of the drums and everything. Just a really badass song. It's really nasty and everything that's great about Exhumed. And really, again, I bought this record when I got into the band because of that song in particular, and it just kind of got me into that whole like nastier side of death metal, opposed to like what I was into at the time, which was more like Morbid Angel, Deicide, kind of, you would say, entry level death metal bands. But As Hammer to Anvil is still my favorite Exhumed song, and this is still my favorite Exhumed album, so it had to be on this list because I love Exhumed. Number 9, As Hammer to Anvil.
So my next one is, we're going more doomy now for this one, MS Bismarck by Asphyx from Last One on Earth. One of my favourite Death Doom albums of all time. I love everything about this song. How evil it sounds, how slow and lumbering it is, like a fucking walking cadaver just kind of like slowly lumbering towards you as it's about to take a chunk out of your neck. Hell yes. Hell yes. It's like this song, if you like shit like Autopsy, if you like anything from like Mental Funeral or Severed Survival, go check out Asphyx. They're just as fucking good, if not better. The riffs are catchy as hell on this song. It's also doomy, so I love it. MS Bismarck, great way to start off the album. Kicks it off in style, and it's so goddamn juicy, like a big juicy steak.
You have to have Cryptopsy on your list, and for me, number 8 is Graves of the Fathers off of None So Vile. Absolutely amazing song. The opening alone is just some of my favorite death metal ever. It's just the way that it all kind of comes together, and the quick burst of the blast beats along with the vocals. Like, I remember the first time I heard this album, I was just like, there's nothing that was that extreme that I ever heard before. And honestly, in terms of just like heaviness, there's nothing really that's as heavy as None So Vile, and I think Graves of the Fathers really is the heaviest song on the record because it has like the crazy fast blast beats that like is riddled all over that record, as well as those heavy slams, the heavy grooves, the musicianship is absolutely insane. Just that album as a whole is just like that could be your top 8 death metal songs of all time, but in that song in particular, like that song and Slit Your Guts were the two ones I was kind of fighting between. But Graves of Our Fathers has the hooks, it has the riffs, it has the heaviness, it has the technicality. Yeah, number 8, Graves of the Fathers.
The next one, we are going with Cryptopsy. Yeah, Canada's own Cryptopsy. One of my favourite bands of all time. Love the intensity of Lord Worm's vocals, and we're going with Slit Your Guts. I didn't even say the title. I should have said the title, but I really could have picked anything from this album, but this song always stood out to me as being just catchy and insane. It's not just super insane, but it's catchy as well. Slit Your Guts. But I could have picked Phobophile, Crown of Horns. There's too many to choose from. This is a fantastic album, one of the best of all time, but the vocals are on point. It's technical as all hell, and yeah, I think it's catchy. I think it's one of the catchy ones on the album. So it's making my top 10.
At number 7, we have Buried Dreams by Carcass. Absolutely love this song. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's off Heartwork. It's the opening song off of Heartwork, and I think it introduces the album perfectly because you have the previous records with Symphonies of Sickness, Reek of Putrefaction, Necroticism, and they're all just kind of really raw, gore grind, early death metal kind of stuff. This album is so much more sophisticated than their previous records, and they really show that off in the opening song with the and you instantly get that melodic edge to their sound with the do 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 boo do 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 do, just so badass and so catchy and hooky. And then it goes into that heavy verse riff, and you have the catchy hook-laden choruses. Just a really badass song. The production really helps it. This is one of my all-time favorite sounding records. And I think this song in particular really just shows off how fat that guitar tone is with those descending chords matching with like those heavy drums and that more melodic kind of lead playing that goes on. Just Heartwork is a masterpiece, and I think Buried Dreams is the best song on the record, and it has to be on my list. So number 7 is Buried Dreams.
Next up for me, we got a rerun. We got another Morbid Angel album. That's 2 song on this list. Where the Slime Live. Where the Slime Live from Domination. Underrated album. Goddamn underrated. And this song is my favourite. This song is easily my favourite. The weird wavering voice he does. It's so creepy. It's so oozy. I feel like a gelatinous cube is going to come out and fucking dissolve me. That's what it feels like. It's Where the Slime Live. And the Slime live in death metal. And they live with Morbid Angel. And this song fucking rips.
At number 6, we have a more modern song by a more modern band, and that is In Hell Is Where She Waits For Me by the Black Dahlia Murder. Love the Black Dahlia Murder. Absolutely fantastic band. This song in particular I think is their best song, obviously because it's on this list. Opening track off of Everblack. This is just a perfect opener to an album, and it's a perfect like melodic death metal song. You have that creepy opening with the cool guitar chords and the guitar harmonies going on, just setting this atmosphere. And then it goes into that like thrash beat with the kind of vocals going on, just really badass, really in your face and intense. Then you have that pre-chorus, which is a little bit more groovy and just kind of adds another dynamic to the song. Then you just have that bridge section where it all kind of breaks down and it's just really awesome and open and epic sounding. The guitar solo is absolutely fantastic. Just this song represents everything I love about the Black Dahlia and pretty much everything I love about melodic death metal in general. And even though Everblack isn't my favorite Black Dahlia record, it's probably like my 5th favorite Black Dahlia record if I'm being honest. This song in particular has always stood out to me as well as other songs off the record. It's not a bad record by any means. It's actually a pretty fucking awesome record. But In Hell's Where She Waits For Me is just an absolutely perfect song in my opinion. The riffing is amazing. The songwriting is perfect. The vocals are great. The performances are amazing. Yeah, number 6 is In Hell Is Where She Waits For Me.
Hoo-hoo! Time for some death in your batty. We have Spiritual Healing. Spiritual Healing is my favourite death song. You're not going to find another one on here. I love a lot of death songs. They're all amazing. This is my favourite. It's long, it's proggy, it's technical. It's kind of from Leprosy to this. It's going more into the technical direction. I love the way he sings Spiritual Healing, the guitar on it, the melody on it. Chuck is a legend. This song is perfect. It's an 11 out of 10. Spiritual fucking healing, boys. It'll heal your soul.
Number 5 is by a band that, if you know me, you would probably expect it to be a little bit higher, and that is Scourge of Iron by Cannibal Corpse off of the album Torture. This was really the song that made me fall in love with Cannibal Corpse. When I was getting into death metal and Cannibal Corpse and everything, it was kind of around this time. This came out in like 2012. It was probably around like 2010 or 2011 I started exploring death metal more. And I knew songs like, Make Them Suffer, Hammer Smash Face, and all like the hits, I guess you could say. But then I remember watching the studio documentaries with my friends specifically, and hearing that we were instantly like, that's going to be the best fucking song on the record. And it's the best song on the record. And in my opinion, it's their best song. I love when Cannibal Corpse slows it down because it's just absolutely perfect. And in this case, they do the slow stuff and the fast stuff at certain parts. Like the song opens up very fast, almost in like a march. And then it just kind of all collapses into that heavy riff, and it just stays there. It's just so badass. Pat O'Brien's guitar solo is so amazing. I love Eric Rutan, but Pat O'Brien, just in terms of guitar playing and everything, is just a huge influence of mine and everything. Just absolutely amazing song, amazing band, amazing album. This is their best album, in my opinion. I know Questy thinks different, and that's his problem, I guess. But yeah, number 5, Scourge of Iron.
You want something heavy? Infecting the Crypts. Infecting the Crypts is next. Come on. The fucking drumming on this is ridiculous. Is absolutely ridiculous. It's one of the best death metal songs of all time. One of the best brutal death metal songs of all time, if you call them brutal. What do you call them? What do you call Suffocation? Brutal? Technical? I don't give a fuck about genre titles. I don't care what it is. It sounds goddamn good. It sounds juicy. It's heavy. It's headbangable. And that's what I want in death metal. And Suffocation bloody delivers.
My pick for number 4 is a classic, and that is Symbolic by Death. Absolutely killer song. This is Death kind of... The songwriting on this record as a whole, I think, is peak Chuck Schuldiner, because I just love how the different riffs lead into each other, and then it all kind of wraps back together into that beginning riff. And this song's a perfect example with that main riff, and then you get the fast parts, and you get the more open parts, the chuggy parts, and then you get those awesome guitar solos right in the middle. Specifically, Chuck's solo, I really love, because it's kind of in the more open section where they're kind of like in that halftime feel. But then you have the faster solo, which is just absolutely amazing too, and it all kind of goes into this bridge. And then it all just kind of collapses back into that main opening riff, and it's just so heavy and so good and so melodic and just everything that makes Death amazing, in my opinion, because they're just one of those bands that have evolved so much album to album that I think in this song specifically, they kind of capture all of the eras. They have the opening riff, which is kind of the more like that era sounding Death style. Then you have the faster riff, which is more reminiscent of some stuff you may have got enough of, like Leprosy, maybe a little more melodic than that. Then you have some of the more moments like the which is kind of reminiscent of stuff that they may have done on Human or Individual Thought Pattern. So I think this song as a whole really just wraps up Death's stylistic choices and everything. Obviously not as progressive as the stuff on Sound of Perseverance, but they weren't there yet. Chuck wasn't there yet. So yeah, number 4, Symbolic.
Eaten. I would do anything to be eaten. As an appetizer, I'll let you taste my daughter. How good is Eaten by Bloodbath? It's one of the most fun death metal songs of all time. How catchy is it? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Peter's vocals are perfect fit the band. As soon as someone says death metal songs, this song has to come up. Eaten! It's gonna be stuck in your head. It's gonna go round and round in your head, because this is an earworm of a song, and I fucking love it.
At number 3, we have When Satan Rules His World off of Once Upon a Cross by Deicide. This is my favorite Deicide record, my favorite Deicide song. I love, again, almost like in Scourge of Iron, how the song starts out very fast, very in your face, again, almost like a marching kind of thing, and then collapses into that just heavy riff. And specifically, my favorite part of the song is the first cymbal hit into that riff, just so heavy, so intense, so great, so raw, just angry. This is just Deicide firing on all cylinders, and a case where I'm happy that they slowed it down, because kind of the famous story of this record is that they recorded it and Roadrunner was like, guys, the record's too short. You guys played it too fast. They recorded the record too fast, so they had to re-record it and play the song slower. And this is a perfect example, because if this song was faster and that main riff, that riff, if that was faster, it wouldn't have worked as well, because it would just kind of be another fast riff that lost its groove, lost that kind of vibe and just the feel of the riff. Just When Satan Rules His World is the perfect song, and for me, it is the third best death metal song of all time.
Kafir! Kafir is next by Nile. My favourite Nile song. The way they scream that, the fucking melodies. There is no God but God. There is no God. When they keep screaming that as well, how intense it is, how catchy it is. It's got the intensity and the catchiness. Two things I love. And they're both on this. It's got the Egyptian melodies, everything I love about Nile, into one song from my favourite album. It's fucking Kafir, mate.
At number 2, we have God of Emptiness off of Covenant by Morbid Angel. If you know my channel, you know that Covenant is kind of my favorite old school death metal record ever. I absolutely adore this record, and God of Emptiness just shows how amazingly important a band like Morbid Angel is. Not even in just how commercially successful this record was, but how many, that's such a weird song, God of Emptiness. It has this big epic feel to it. David Vincent's vocals almost sound like a chant, almost like an evil, cult kind of chanting vocals, just really badass. And you have that ending section that's just so evil and heavy and just gross, just an amazing song. And I could have picked any Morbid Angel song, if I'm being honest, especially off of this album. The Lines then almost made it. World of Shit almost made it, but God of Emptiness just has this energy to it and this power to it that's just, it's badass. I just love every riff that's on the song. David Vincent's vocals, the drumming, it's a slower song too for the band. It's probably the slowest song that's on this list, if I'm being honest, in terms of the overall vibe of the song. There's really no fast section to it, so I just really love this record. Number 2, God of Emptiness.
So, close to the home stretch now. My number 2 is Stripped, Raped and Strangled by Cannibal Corpse. Some people don't like this one. One person said it was one of the most overrated, disappointing songs in metal. Fuck that guy. You know who you are. I adore it. It's my second favourite death metal song. I think it's the catchiest Cannibal Corpse song. It's the best Cannibal Corpse song. And hearing it live blows my mind every time. Just like Eaton, it's so goddamn sing-alongable. Face down, dead in the ground. Find me before another is found. Left murdered and nameless. Dead and buried and rotten. If you don't sing every part of this song, there's something fucking wrong with you. Stripped, Raped and Strangled is my second favourite song in death metal of all time. So what's your number 1 pair of jeans?
My pick for the number 1 best death metal song of all time is Dead Girls Don't Scream by 6 Feet Under. Perfect death metal song, shows off everything that's great about them. I'm joking. It's Pierced From Within by Suffocation. Pierced From Within is everything that death metal should be. This song is amazing. Every part of this song, every note of every riff is so goddamn perfect and meant to be there. And just the way the song is written in terms of how it's structured, it's perfection. It starts out with that really cool riff, that you know the riff. It's really cool, it's twisted, it's weird, it's badass. Then you get that cool pounding rhythmic riff. I love, my favorite part of the song is the that really fast part after the 2 snare hits. Just really heavy, really badass, fast, intense stuff. And then they bring that back kind of when they stop and you get the 2 stick hits into that slow slam. I've seen them live 2 or 3 times, and there's literally nothing heavier than when Suffocation plays this song live. And it's just everything that I love about death metal. It's technical, it's weird, it's heavy, it's fast, it's in your face. The production is absolutely disgusting and kind of objectively bad, but at the same time, that just makes it better. I love this song. It's been my favorite death metal song for quite a while and was really the only choice for number 1 that I had. Everything else is kind of thrown together, but for me, number one is Pierce from Within, always.
Ooh, I love it. That's a great pick. Mine, we're gonna go with the mighty Bolt Thrower. But which song are we go with? You already know what song we're gonna go with. I've done my top 50 songs of all time, and this is on it. World Eater. World Eater by Bolt Thrower. Come on, it's World Eater. It's so goddamn good. How fast the riff goes, and the riff's catchy as hell. The way I can sing that, you know it's catchy, you know it's good. It's fucking Bolt Thrower World Eater. Not much more I can say. So, once again, thanks, Pair of Jeans, for coming on the channel. His real name's Alex. I do know that, but I like calling him Pair of Jeans because it's weird. And, you know, we're weird, so it's fun to say. So, yeah, everyone go check his channel out, go watch his videos. He makes cool content. He does way more rankings than I do. You should go check them out because they're cool. So, yeah, bye-bye, Pair of Jeans.
Thank you, Questy, for involving me in this video. It's an honor to be on this channel. Again, I'm Alex from Pair of Jeans Reviews. Check out my channel. I do death metal, thrash metal, I do pop punk, I do pop records, I do whatever the fuck I want to listen to. So if you're into more than metal, just check out my channel and I got some stuff. Of course, check out Questy. He is the master of all of this content. He is the god. He is the king Questy. Thank you for involving me in this video, and yeah. Later.
So let me know what your favourite death metal songs are. I don't know what my hands were doing then. Let me know what your favourite death metal songs are down below. And we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.